Beyond Barriers, a podcast sharing heartfelt stories of tears, triumphs, and resilience in the world of parenting and supporting people with a disability. Join us as we go beyond barriers to celebrate the joys and navigate the hardships together. Hey guys, welcome back to episode 7 of Beyond Barriers, the podcast. We've had a really exciting 2 weeks and we've got 2 awesome guests lined up for you today. Indy, what have we been up to?
So we actually yesterday went to one of our support workers' weddings. So I've known Kurt and Elise for a long time now. Aiden's met them more recently, but Kurt now works for us. So they got married. They've been together for 11 years.
11 years, and we've only been together for just under 2, so
yeah,
9 to go.
I know. So it was the most beautiful wedding. There was lots of tears, but we had an awesome time at that. And what else have you been up to, Doll?
No, nothing really. Just training, just getting back into the swing of things. It's still recovering from Bali, just trying to get going. But we've got some awesome guests lined up. And do you want to explain who our 2 guests are today?
Absolutely. So we have the amazing Hugo and his wonderful mum, Alicia. So they are on today to talk to us a little bit about Hugo's challenges in terms of running nationally. So he does the 3-kilometre run, which is, I think, the cross-country run. So Athletics Australia has come out and said that they can no longer do that anymore. He can only run for a maximum of 400 metres. So he's got a petition out to sign and get everyone on board to hopefully get him back running again. So he's an amazing role model to all people with short stature, and we are so lucky and grateful to have him on today.
I know, I'm so excited, and like if you guys can do anything, we'll put the link out for his petition, and if you guys could sign that would mean the world to him and obviously the short stature community as well. So please get around that because it's very important and he's so passionate about it, and I can't wait for you guys to hear his story and a bit about what he's up to.
Amazing. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Hello guys, and welcome back to episode 7 of Beyond Barriers, the podcast. We are so excited today. We are here with the wonderful Hugo and his beautiful mum, Alicia. So you guys may know Hugo. He's just completed the Ned's Uncomfortable Challenge. He ran 3Ks for 10 days in a row, which is unreal. And he actually ran with Ned Brockman himself when he was doing his challenge. So we're so excited. Thank you guys so much for coming here and being here with us.
You excited?
Yeah, I'm excited, yeah.
Oh,
amazing. So we'll just get right started and right in. So can you tell us a little bit about how life was growing up, some of the challenges you may have faced and kind of what you guys do, where you guys live, how the story began of Hugo?
When you were growing up, did you face any challenges? Like, was there a lot of like doctor's appointments, anything like that you had to deal with?
Well, when I was younger, I was told that like I couldn't like jump on trampolines or couldn't like run long.
Long, yeah.
But now I can like jump on trampolines. I can do backflips. I can obviously run pretty well.
And who helped you with that? Who allowed you to be able to feel like you could do that? Was mum a big factor in that?
Yeah, she was. Like she told me that I can do it and that.
So a lot of self-belief.
Yeah.
You have to be so self-believing, especially when you've got lots of people in your corner saying you can't do this, you can't do that, just because like that's fine, you know what I mean? So mum?
I think there was actually some updated medicine in that as well.
Yep.
So I think traditionally there'd been a lot of, you can't do a lot of things because you've got to be careful, and they've got people with short stature. Hugo's got achondroplasia, type of dwarfism.
Yep.
So they've got a slight a less protection around their spinal cord. So there's been you've got to be really careful and that type of thing. But those same issues with any kid. Be careful on the trampoline because anyone can injure themselves. Mm-hmm. But it was quite liberating because we'd had those conversations at Westmead, and we went to a short stature convention, and a Professor Ravi, he's just Ravi within the community. He actually was quite liberating. He came through as a younger expert in the field, and he changed the view. There used to be don't do anything, be so careful. It was like, God, do what you love, be healthy. A lot of the issues for people with short stature are, obesity, and so being healthy and physical and loving it is actually going to be much better and make them much stronger. And so, consequently, Hugo was told early, like we told him, Hugo, you can't do this stuff on the trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
We got that feedback, and now he's flipping him.
How good's
That's
that?
amazing.
Don't you feel like that? Like if you be bubble wrapped, like it probably causes more issues. Whereas if you just let go and do what you like, it probably is way more beneficial for you. Don't you reckon?
Yeah. Well, I when I learned like the flips, I was like, mum and dad were doing something else, and I was just on the trampoline, like watching a tutorial or like on how to do it.
Yeah. How good's YouTube? YouTube allows you to learn how to do anything.
I know. And I'm sure mum was looking over thinking, what's Hugo doing on there? So,
No, he didn't tell us he was doing it.
until you look out and he's flipping on the trampoline.
So the main thing is, why we got you here is we heard you're a bit of a superstar runner. So how did you get into running?
Well, when I was like in year 4, which is the age where you can start competing like actually competitively. When I did like the 2K cross country, I knew I did pretty well, and I ended up like winning nationals or some sort like that. And that's when I like basically knew I could do it. I could run long distances.
So when you're running, like, what do you think? Like, what motivates you? Because obviously, like running 2 kilometers, like especially with dwarfism, like I find it so hard to run 2 kilometers sometimes, and I'm like always training, always in the gym, and like I'm always like, 2 kilometers is quite fast. What motivates you to do that?
Just like getting to the finish line and like standing on the podium with like a gold medal wrapped around my neck.
So he's telling me that you always win.
Well,
Yes.
I want to win. Yeah,
Woo!
yeah.
That's good and that's great. Like always want to win. So you must be very competitive and like just have that drive to want to be the best, which is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah?
How'd you work out you were a long distance runner? Did you do any athletics growing up?
I'm pretty sure we did like athletics thing, which I didn't think didn't last very long, which because I don't know, we just didn't get very into it.
Yeah.
Then I had no idea that I was a good runner until I did that like cross country.
And then you knew.
Yeah, I did.
Did you try any other sports growing up, or you just knew that athletics was it?
Well, I like played soccer or football since I was like 5 or like in kindergarten, which I always was fine playing with like average height kids.
Yeah.
And that made me like better, faster, stronger.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. I
And
agree.
you started basketball.
Yeah, like recently.
Do you love that?
Yeah, I do.
Aiden's a big basketball fan. He's
I
always
love
watching
basketball. I love the NBA.
Yeah,
It's a team. Do you know?
I like the Warriors.
The Warriors, Steph Curry. Can you shoot like him?
Hopefully.
So let's dive into it. So with the Athletics Australia and everything that's going on, what's the story there? And tell us a bit about that.
Wait, what was the question again?
So with the Athletics Australia, what's going on with that at the moment, and what's the barrier that's been put up with that?
Well, when I was going through like national, like the cross country in 2024 this year, I was going through state. I was told that I couldn't go to nationals, which I'd come like first or second for.
Yep.
In state.
Nice.
Which then I was told I couldn't go up, and then because Athletics Australia had some advice from some random person that I wasn't fit to run or able to run.
And were you just devastated when you heard that?
Yeah, because I was, because it was it's a thing that I'm very passionate about, and I love running.
And so, Mum, let me get this right. So there was no actual proper doctor's advice. It was just someone's opinion on.
Look, we've actually heard recently from School Sport Australia, who advised us that they are waiting for Athletics Australia's technical advisory committee they will follow the guidance of Athletics Australia. I have followed up with Athletics Australia, who the CEO got back to me last week and advised that they have never changed their rules. There's just this really like weird, complicated thing with School Sport Australia and them. They'd combined for a few years and then they'd separated. So their rules had never changed, but they'd adopted School Sports Australia's rules. Look, it's anyway. Like, so that part of thing, like, so effectively, they've had some requests to change the rules. But the reason, like, from Hugo's point of view, he could run last year, and this year he was banned. And so they are reviewing the rules. Unfortunately, it seems to they're not going to tell us until probably March.
Right.
But they have said that Hugo can be have an input into the review. They've also said that Professor Ravi, who I mentioned earlier, he will be part of it, and
Good.
so that's really positive. So we're really hoping that they'll I guess do the right thing, because we've got no. Hugo's always had to get a doctor's certificate in order to compete, and other multi-class athletes don't. I don't think. I mean, maybe some do, but I don't think that's needed for everyone. But for them, that they do. We've got no problem with that. But let's make it up to the individual's medical advice, and not up to just some blanket ban that they can't be included.
Yeah,
So,
and it does seem ridiculous. Like, if you're happy for him to run and he's got individual medical advice for him to run and he really wants to do it, I can't see why he can't do it. Do you know what I mean?
Neither. So that kind of takes us to, I guess, the petition. Is that to help with that review? Like, it to get, I guess, the wider community on board and see if there's any way that we can help with that review? Because I do agree. I think, obviously Hugo wants to run. He has medical advice from his own doctors that it's okay. So is that kind of what the petition's asking for?
yeah, and also not just his own doctors. Like, I mean, there's world leader expertise say let them run because it's good for their health and good for so good for their mental and physical health. So let them run. Yeah. So the petition, it started because there'd been no transparency around the change and what happened. And we just started, we didn't know what had happened or why, and that was kind of part of the problem. And we, Ben Fordham heard about it from 2GB, and he called and he was like, I want to get behind you. That really sucks. And so he was being really amazing.
That's great.
And so people heard us on that and they're like, can we sign a petition? It was like, oh, well, okay. And so, for us, so people want to get behind Hugo, and obviously it's not just Hugo, it's anyone with short stature. And the big thing, I suppose, for us is Hugo has had, he's been the national champion multi-class for his age group twice. Like, they're boxes you can never untick. And so he, of course, he'll be really upset if he can't do that again. But at the same time, he's done it. It's kids that are younger than him that are coming through that will never have that opportunity because they can never run longer than 400 metres competitively unless this rule changes. So that's what we're trying to do. And the petition is around, just people want to show their support, and just part of this review, we're wanting to get some, attention for it, and we don't want it just to slip under the carpet because it's easy just to keep the status quo and to make some noise and make it uncomfortable for them not to kind of look at this and go, actually, it doesn't really make much sense when medical advice says it's fine to run. Why don't we change this?
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't you reckon that's so cool? Like, not only now, like, it was originally about you and like you wanting to run, Hugo, but like now you're like creating that pathway and paving the way for other young athletes as well, which is like pretty cool. So you're actually, benefiting the wider community and all the young kids coming through. So how like, we'll touch on this in a minute, but obviously Ned Brockman, one of your idols, you got to run with him, which is pretty cool. But, a lot of young kids now who want to do what you do would look at you as one of their idols. Like, look, Hugo can do it, I can do it. So that must make you feel pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's pretty cool because I know what it feels like to have an idol when I like grew up and now and just looking up to them and having the motivation to try and be like them is really cool.
Oh, who was your idol growing up?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Is Ned Brockman up there now?
Yeah.
So what was that like? Run us through that. So how did that all come about?
Well, Ned and his team like heard our story and he invited us out to the thing and see what was happening with his uncomfortable challenge. I had no idea that I was gonna like run with him. I just got like given some Puma stuff and like a year supply of chocolate milk.
Oh,
How good.
Can I get some? I'm a massive chocolate milk drinker. You can help me out there.
I'm not sure.
I think he's got a few mates who might fight him for it.
Yeah. Get in line.
Yeah, I'll have to fight them too.
Well, apparently there's a bit of a worldwide shortage, so
I know.
everyone wants it. Which
I've
is
heard
amazing.
that. I've actually heard that. One of my girlfriends is like, she loves
No.
netball, and
I'll
she's
be
a runner, and she told me that. So we're gonna have to
I'd
come
be
on, Ned.
devastated.
Come
I
on,
know.
Ned.
So as a mum as well, like, you know, obviously seeing your son like get knocked back, like how did that make you feel? Like obviously that's something he's passionate about. Like I know, for example, if Indy or myself, like my mum, you know, saw my dreams being crushed or whatever, like she'd be devastated. But how did it make you feel, honestly?
Just really sad. It was you know, it was his thing. It was his, you know, like, oh, it's cross country, and knowing like he's like a machine out there. Like it's not he's, you know, the reason he's amazing, he just doesn't stop. He just keeps on going, and other kids stop and he just doesn't. And I think because he does these other sports as well, he does soccer, he does does basketball, and part of participating with other kids with average height is he's got to run 2 steps for every one of theirs. So he's really fit, and so he's just really fit, and so it's just really exciting to watch him have that success, and he gets recognised at school, and you know, like it's you know, it's part of your identity, I suppose, getting this recognition, you know, as sports. You know, sports people.
There's nothing better than that. Like honestly, like when you do sport and you win something, even as a team or an individual, like, there's nothing better than just like getting that little bit, like 30 seconds of praise. There's nothing better. And for you, that's your thing. You know what I mean?
It's his thing. So it was just really, really disappointing to see that being ripped away, and knowing that other kids couldn't have that at all. Like it just seems really rubbish.
Yeah.
How has the, I guess, like from other people with short stature, have they reached out, and how have they, I guess, been so excited to speak to you, Hugo? Have you spoke to anyone that is facing a similar problem to you that wants to, you know, compete in the cross country but can't?
Well, I went to like a convention pretty recently, but that was before I'd gone on like all the news, the radios, and they had like no idea.
Yeah.
But there was we got told by someone that there was rumors that I wasn't going to be able to run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There is we heard rumors before Hugo was told he couldn't run.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of quite a few kids in Queensland who are really passionate. And so I'm connected to their parents, and they were, have you heard, you know, what's happening in New South Wales? So there's before we heard anything, we heard rumours about it.
Yeah.
So they're really upset. But the issue is it's not just cross country, it's actually changes, like it flows down other sports as well. So some of those, the parents we're talking to, their kid does, I think it's biathlon or duathlon or triathlon.
Yep.
There's an event that and so they've been told, as of next year you can't go any higher than club level, and so those changes, it flows to other areas.
Do you know why they've made these changes? Like,
yeah, and all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Well, so as far as I can tell from the information that the CEO advised was they have never changed their rules. It's just that the organisations that run the events at these things, I think that was a separation. They used to respect each other's guidelines and rules, and because the separation's there, now they've reverted to the rules that they'd had before they came together, is my understanding.
Yeah.
But I'm not an expert on this, but that was my understanding.
Okay.
So they say their rules haven't changed, but they've changed for the event. Its rules have changed.
Just something's changed.
Yeah, the event. Yeah, the rules for the event have totally changed. But yeah,
and when you say that, obviously you have there's a wide community in Queensland that are facing the same rules. What has their response been to the petition? Like, are they so excited that they have a voice in Hugo to speak out and make it hopefully a change for them?
Well, we've had people from the short stature community reach out, and they were like, "Oh, this is amazing. We're really." Good on Hugo, go for a Hugo, like just lots of those sort of really positive, supportive things.
And to be fair, it's also a blessing in disguise, because unless something serious like this happens, how are they going to have the voice to be able to reach out and have a voice? It's very hard to find platforms and for people to hear your story. So that's pretty amazing. But back to you, just a little quick question. Do you face many day-to-day challenges for yourself, or?
Not really. I can do most things that other kids do, like sports, but yeah, and I don't. Yeah, I don't really face the challenge
Yeah,
much challenges.
I got you. But like where that's coming from is that like you should just be so proud of yourself. Like for you to be able to like run 3 kilometers for 10 days, like that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and that's like the distance that I told I wasn't able to run.
Yeah.
So we tried to like make it saying like
Yeah, make a little bit of a point to prove.
yeah.
Yeah, you should.
God, he was grumpy though. He was very grumpy.
On day
He was-
10. How are you feeling day 10? What was the hardest day, do you reckon? Day 10?
I think like day like 3 or 4
Yeah.
because that's like when my body wasn't used to that and I was my body was trying to recover, but like it didn't have enough time to, and
Did
he
you?
just needed more rest.
Yeah,
but
just
it
a bit more rest.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
well,
also
you did-
had you go.
No, you go. You go.
Yeah, because we also had like school like instantly after we went after the
After the run.
yeah,
Yeah.
which made
Did
me more tired.
What did you experience anything like any nosebleeds, any blisters on the feet, anything like Ned did, or just sore muscles?
Like nowhere near as much as Ned did, but but yeah, I got sore muscles and sometimes like because since I do it in the morning, there's like damp, like the grass is like really damp where I run on, and like that gets in my shoes and it makes it like really uncomfortable and like
Wet socks.
yeah.
Don't you hate that feeling when you're like running in slosh?
Yeah.
That is the worst feeling, especially like, you know, when you're playing, like when I play footy in the rain and you got like the wet jersey and you smell like wet grass.
Yeah.
Just on the any challenges, Hugo's been really fortunate that he hasn't had any real complications with his short stature. Obviously he's short, but he hasn't had kind of any, there is a lot of kids do have more issues than Hugo, so he's been quite fortunate in that regard. So not everyone wants to do it because they're personally not able to do that. But yeah, Hugo's been quite fortunate in that regard.
Yeah, no, that's good. And like recovery wise, like do you do much recovery? Like obviously being an athlete, do you like wear any like special skins, compressions? Do you do ice baths? Do you do anything like that?
I don't really do that stuff, but like after my runs and stuff, I do like stretches to help. Like
What stretches you do? Because I don't do much stretching. I need some tips. What do you do?
I like some of them. I do like open the gate and close the gate, which is a move like a warm up that I do from like soccer.
Yep.
Which like and also that's before like the run, but I like try and stretch out the muscles, try and touch my toes, like
Nice. You do like the calf pumps and stuff like that?
yeah.
Yeah, nice.
He wasn't very there wasn't quite enough warming up and cooling down, was there,
No,
Hugo, though?
No, that was enough.
There was enough. Hey, he got it done. So there must have been something going right there.
I love it. I love it. And it's amazing what you did, Hugo. Like 10 days of that is insane. And I definitely couldn't do it. So hats off to you. But did you raise a fair bit of money?
Yeah, I raised like a bit over 128 grand.
Oh my God. Look at you.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
128 grand.
Yeah.
That's insane.
128 grand, $650.
Oh my gosh. Just to be exact.
So what did that go towards? Tell me a bit about that. What were you raising money for?
Well, it was a part of Ned's Uncomfortable Challenge, which was a challenge in 2 parts. One was Ned's challenge and one was the community's challenge. And it was for a charity called We Are Mobilize, which is a charity that supports homelessness and trying to get people off the streets. And I raised like 128 grand for them doing what I do, running 3Ks each day for 10 days.
That's amazing.
That is incredibly inspiring. Like not many people, especially at your age, are doing stuff like that. So you should really be proud of yourself because, like I said, like that is like no one's doing that. So well done.
Absolutely. And what was it like when you ran with Ned? So you said that you didn't know you were going to do that day.
Yeah, I just got like pulled onto the track to maybe give like a high five to him.
Yeah.
But then Ned said like, "Oh, let's go for a run. Like, come on, let's something like that." Then I just started running.
How long did you run with him for?
It was only like 400 meters, but it was still pretty memorable.
That's amazing. And did he have all the crowd there watching him at that time?
Well, yeah, there was a bit of crowd,
Yeah.
but there's like a hour of power, which is at like around 7 to 8,
Yeah.
which most of the crowd's there.
Filled in. Yeah. That's amazing.
So obviously, like Ned's always looking to do like new things and really push himself to the limit and lots of challenges. What do you have coming up? Do you have any little goals for yourself at the moment, like with your training, or do you have anything like that?
Well, I think there's like I think we, like Ned said, there might be an uncomfortable challenge next year,
Ooh.
which
good.
I will be very passionate in, like competing in it or performing in.
Nice.
Well, you're
yeah.
also looking at 400, aren't you?
Oh yeah. Well, I'm currently getting like training from like a coach in like South Australia or in like Central Australia. Which I'm getting trained for the 400.
Oh, nice. Well, because that's what you can only compete in at the moment, isn't it? So you may as well win that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. That's so good. And that's exciting. That's something to work towards. And then hopefully we'll get this petition marked off and then you're back doing your long distance.
Yeah.
How good.
With the petition, we're going to put it up on our Instagram and we're going to put the link there, and then we'll make sure that everyone can access it, and we'll get as many people as we can to sign off that petition, because I think that's very important. Would you like that? That'd be cool.
Oh
hey?
yeah, that'll be cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Of course.
that's all right.
Can I say on the on the Ned thing? So it was pretty exciting. So because his manager called and said, look, Ned's really keen to, heard Hugo's story and wants to get him out here. Said, but just so you know, look, he's really doing it tough at the moment. I think it was like day 5 or something.
I think it was like day 6.
Day 6. He was really doing it tough, and he said, so just so you know, he's not going to be able to run with him, or and not that he expected it, and he might be able to come on the track to wave,
Yeah, cool.
And so I'd sort of said to Hugo, look, you won't be able to get out there. But, they just said, come down. And then Ned came up and said, are you going to run with me? And Hugo was like, oh, because like he'd been briefed that he couldn't. But yeah, Ned was so cool, wasn't he? Ned's been like, what an amazing guy.
Oh my God.
He puts his body, it's I don't know how he does it. Like the battle that the strength of mind to keep going when it's all of loss. I don't know if you've seen his videos, but he's an absolute legend. He's been so good to Hugo. He was there for the last the day 10 of the challenge. He was like, there was this amazing Hugo's school said, do you want to finish off the challenge at the school in the gate? So it was like a guard of honor. All the kids were there.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'll send you the Instagram video.
I was literally,
It gives you like goosebumps, doesn't it?
right?
Like even like
and Ned was there like at the end. It was just,
that's so
all the kids were
epic.
like, ah!
stop.
That's so epic. Was that on your last date?
Oh yeah, on the day 10.
And Ned was there too?
Yeah, it
That's
was.
epic. And that was the last thing I was going to say as well. What was it with like obviously with your school support? Have they been amazing? Like in terms of trying to get him back competing in nationals? What's their response been like?
We haven't really, we haven't asked them. Like it's kind of outside
Yeah.
Totally.
the
It's
school's
out of their
remit,
control.
so
Yeah.
we haven't asked them to do anything. We've just started this conversation. From their point of view, they didn't really even know. There wasn't advice, so it was more. It all kind of flared up in the school holidays when Ben Fordham started doing it. And they were like, so they've been amazing in terms of, is there anything you need us to do to help? And they,
amazing.
That's
so-
lovely.
And I love that.
Like I was just going to say as well, I think I asked you it before, but like from this, like you've gained a lot of attention. Like you've been on Today FM, Nova, you've been on Beyond Barriers, the podcast. How
Best ever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
best ever.
A current affair.
A current affair. But how are you finding it? Is it a bit overwhelming? I think you answered it before.
Well, I like it because I just like being famous. But yeah, even though we're trying to do it for a good cause and try and make a difference, I like having all the attention and fame.
You sound like someone
Who
else I
doesn't?
know.
You sound like someone else.
Oh,
No,
that's
incredible.
amazing.
And we usually ask our guests just to finish off the podcast. First of all, we're very, very honoured to have you guys here. We've loved talking to you and meeting you and like hearing your story. I think it's quite incredible and it aligns quite well with Beyond Barriers and breaking down barriers and walls and blockages in what shouldn't be. And we always finish off the podcast. We always ask our guests, do you have a little quote that you live by that, you know, that can impact someone else, or do you have a little quote that you live by day to day or anything like that? I've kind of put you on the spot here.
I think I have like a little quote on my shorts.
Right.
You can't lose until you've given up.
Oh, I love that.
You can't lose until you've given up. I like
That's
that.
the best. Do you know what I thought you were going to say?
What?
Just keep swimming by Dory. Just keep going because you
Just
never
keep
give
going.
up. But that's very similar.
And also, I had a really important question. I thought about this all day and I almost forgot. What's your go-to song on do you listen to Spotify?
Yeah.
What's your go-to song when you're running?
I don't know. I just put on like just like any random songs.
You like the upbeat ones, or you a
I'm not sure. Just
bit of everything?
When I run, I listen to like slow music. Is that odd?
I don't know.
Each to their own.
I try to get them to listen to a lot of Taylor Swift, and
Yeah.
I'm quite a big
T
fan.
Swift. Are you a T Swift fan?
But he does. I don't know, but he's.
No, that's good. Well,
Maybe. And what about you, Alicia? Do you have a quote that you live by? Anything that's helped you with Hugo, family?
I don't have a quote. I guess you've got to have a go. I don't know.
I love that.
By Albert Einstein.
Yeah. Claim it.
you got to have a go, Alicia.
Totally.
No, that's great. That's so good. But yeah, thank you guys so much for coming on the podcast. Like, we've just loved having you here, and you guys are probably the first guest that we just meet on the day. So like, it was pretty incredible, and thank you so much.
And we appreciate it. I know it's a long way to get out here, but you're a remarkable young man, Hugo, and you should be so proud of yourself. And we're so excited to back you, and we hope for the best, obviously, with Athletics Australia. And we can't wait to see what you end up doing.
Yeah, thank you.
You'll be flying in the stars.
I know.
We'll be like-
We'll definitely be following your journey, and it's pretty cool.
Well, we've just found out that there's no running events at all at international level, so you can't go to Paralympics as a runner. So we've just thought, well, do we actually extend it and try and we're trying to change the rules in Australia, and that would be amazing. So to go to nationals, but do we actually have a go at the international level organisations? So why can't short-statured athletes run in the Olympics?
For sure.
Why
Is that what
not?
you want? You want to do that? Hey, Hugo.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you know what, like, as we've said throughout the whole podcast and what you believe in, like, why not? Like, there's like, unless there's a serious health concern and people are saying that it's going to impact your life, why not? So just do it and really fight hard for it.
Yeah. Well, we'll back you if you want to do that.
we'll always
We've got
back
you.
you.
And our audience will absolutely love you and love what you're doing. And why not? Let's take it international. Let's get you to the
Yeah,
Paralympics.
let's do it. Let's get you there.
How good. Well, thank
That's
you
epic.
so much. And thank you guys for joining us. And thank you for listening. And we can't wait to see you back at episode 8.
Thanks for having us.
See you guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Well, thank you.
Yay.
Done. Well done. Thank you.
Good job. You're awesome.